Electric car sales in Europe have gone up significantly this year. Here are the best-selling EVs. Here's Tesla's numbers. His numbers, interestingly, from Chinese brands they've more than doubled their market share in Europe. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Great to have you with us. The best-selling electric car in Europe by a mile, in fact, by more than double, in the month of June this year was the Tesla Model Y. 24,073 were delivered. Surprisingly, Tesla, the Model 3 was in second place, which is quite contrary to the reporting I've seen. Anyway, the data from Clean Technica says, actually, no, the Tesla Model 3 was in second place, well behind the Model Y. So 10,807 deliveries for the Model 3. Third was the Skoda Elroq, 9,825 deliveries. And in fourth was the Renault 5. That includes sales of the Alpine A290 or the Alpine A290. That's their little hatchback, which I think is a pretty cool little car. In fifth place was the Volkswagen ID.4 with 6,831 sales. It was followed by the Volkswagen ID.3, 6,725. The BMW iX1, 6,499. Skoda Elroq, 6,171. The Volkswagen ID.7, 5,916. The Audi Q6 e-tron, 5,306. Next was the Kia EV3 with 5,067. Audi Q4 e-tron, 4,672. Audi's EV sales this year are up by about 34%, I believe. BMW i4, 4,305. Volvo EX30 with 4,161. Mercedes EQA, 3,907. And the Cupra Born with 3,851. Now, technically, the BYD Seal U, it actually placed in fifth place, but actually 95% of its sales were the plug-in hybrid version because it's cheaper. Remember that these Chinese car companies have to pay huge tariffs on electric vehicles, but they don't have to pay any tariffs on plug-in hybrids. So they're sending lots of plug-in hybrids to Europe, and those cars are, of course, much cheaper than the EV version, which is a bit unfortunate. Clean Technica had this to say about Tesla coming in first place. Tesla's crossover retained its bestseller status in June, thanks to 24,000 registrations. This is a 1% increase over its sales in June 2024, with the German-made EV profiting from its recent refresh. The crossover is looking to at least get close to its sales levels of 2023 and 2024. So, kudos to Tesla. The Model Y is selling pretty well. There's been some new sales data out of Europe and suggestions saying that Tesla is getting destroyed in July, or did get destroyed in the month of July, but that data was only from a few countries, so we can't really confirm that's accurate yet. Well, let's wait and see for all countries, for all of Europe, to see how Tesla actually did go in the month of July in Europe. However, this is interesting. We do have sales, the 10 best or 10 most popular electric cars in Europe for the first 6 months of this year. The Model Y was in first place with just under 70,000 sales. The Volkswagen ID.4 was a fairly long way back with 40,946 sales in second place. The Tesla Model 3 was in third place, 39,384 sales. Pretty surprising to see Tesla first and third place in Europe, considering there's been mountains of negative publicity around Tesla, whether that's their crashing sales according to journalists, or when I say according to journalists, I think that, maybe they haven't always been telling the truth. But also it's around, Elon Musk and that effect. And surprisingly, Tesla's still in first and third place and not far off being first and second. Renault 5 was next in fourth place with 39,000 deliveries, followed by the Volkswagen ID.7, around 38,000, the Volkswagen ID.3, around 37,000, Skoda Elroq, 36,000, the Skoda Elroq, 34,000, the Kia EV3, 34,000, and the BMW iX1 with 31,000. Now, you can see here that there's no Chinese car brands in terms of EV sales in the top 10 or even the top 15 best-selling electric cars in Europe for the first 6 months of this year. However, they have significantly still increased their market share. In fact, I believe their market share has grown by about 260% in Europe. That's even when it comes down to EV sales. EV sales have approximately doubled, but plug-in hybrid sales for Chinese car makers has skyrocketed for the reason I told you before. There's no tariffs on them. There is a 10% tariff on all cars sent from anywhere outside of Europe to Europe. So if you make a car in Morocco or China or the United States or basically anywhere, they've got to pay a 10% tariff. So that's applicable to plug-in hybrids from China. But that 10% tariff is not much compared to the special Chinese EV tariff, which is much, much higher. It's worth also keeping in mind the Tesla Model 3 that is sold in Europe is actually made in China. So Tesla does have to pay that tariff. I believe it's only 10% though, so it's not much on the Model 3. But still, it does put it sort of behind the 8 ball in comparison, you would think, to electric cars made in Germany or Poland or Hungary. There's numerous for Slovakia, Spain. There's numerous factories in Europe that make EVs, but it doesn't really. The truth is, it's much cheaper still for Tesla to make the Model 3 in China and ship it, pay the shipping costs, pay the tariff. It's still cheaper for Tesla to do that than make the Model 3 in Europe. So it's very expensive in most places in Europe to make cars in comparison to China. And that's part of the reason why Tesla continues to do it that way. The new Tesla Model Y, though, it could boost sales in Europe, I think, significantly. There's a new model coming out within the next 2 or 3 months. It's going to be cheaper. People say 20% cheaper. I can't say that that's true, but if it is, 20% would mean Model Y sales could rebound enormously. The Model Y could become the best-selling car again worldwide. If Tesla can get that car to market soon and they can fulfill orders, a 20% cheaper Model Y would sell like crazy. I mean, I don't think anyone really cares that much about it. The fact that it doesn't have a glass panoramic roof, that's not really something that's a big deal to people who want an affordable electric car. The fact that it doesn't have a media screen in the back and heated seats in the back, different wheels, those things are not real big. The light bars have been removed from the outside. I personally don't care about that. I don't know about you guys. So I think Tesla are actually going to do quite well. And I think these Chinese car brands are going to continue to rise. Their sales are going to continue to go up in Europe in spite of the challenges that they're facing. That's what I'm seeing for the rest of the year. What are you guys seeing? Let me know your thoughts. Thanks for watching.